From the strangest undersea monstrosities to bats as big as Batman, here are 23 pictures of weird and scary animals.
Damn, nature, you scary.
And let's have a shout out to Gail Fattori, letting us know she likes the content along with some of the more unusual specimens that pop up from time to time. As a matter of fact, we've got a few of them popping up in this episode, so thank you for that, Gail. And if you have a suggestion for an epic episode, do let us know in the comments. Cheers. Number 23. Cthulhu larva. Now, it's also known as the abyssal sea cucumber, and they spend their lives in groups of hundreds scouring the bottom of the sea for food. They're more officially known as scotoplanes that exist around 1,000 meters deep. Some people think it looks kind of like a mutant bunny rabbit. Monkfish. Its huge head is filled with razor-sharp teeth, and its grotesque look and disturbing shape can only mean one thing, right? Yes, it's absolutely delicious. The monkfish is now considered a delicacy and is served in fine restaurants. Titicaca Frog. Listed as a critically endangered species, this water frog is named after the lake in South America and is the only place they can be found. The amphibian is also known as the Titicaca scrotum frog due to their distinctive folds of skin. In 2016, more than 10,000 of these amphibians were found dead at that lake. Water pollution is considered primarily to blame. Frilled shark. The creature gets its name thanks to its flaring gills. This eel-like shark has 25 rows of 300 dagger-like teeth and can grow to over 5 feet long. They live deep in the ocean, so spotting them is rare. Due to the ancient ancestry, they are often called living fossils. Glaucus Atlanticus. Now this one goes by a few different names, including blue angel. This is a small species of sea slug that are carried along the water surface by wind and ocean currents. The blue coloration helps them to blend into the water, and although they look weirdly exotic, these are venomous critters that can deliver a nasty sting. Matamata Turtle. Its name means kill in Spanish, and it's known for being an aggressive predator. This creature hails from South America and supposedly uses its grotesque exterior to camouflage itself from prey. It can weigh more than 30 pounds with a shell that measures some 18 inches long. The critter in this picture by Stuart Hamilton was found at an animal sanctuary in Peru. Hairy frogfish. These fish tend to be very well camouflaged and are rarely detected by the prey. That's because their hairs are actually spines, which allow it to stay hidden against seaweed and coral. Because of their grotesque appearance, they've earned the nickname Spawn of Satan in Indonesia. Amazing spider worm. Now this creature is thought to be a type of marine ribbon worm, and it displayed an ability that reminded a lot of people of a certain web slinger. The strange red animal is seen in footage resting in the palm of someone's hand. Its swollen body seems to sit still before suddenly spurting out what appears to be a thick white mucus. It invited comparisons to Spider-Man's webbing as it shot out and snaked across the person's hand. Ribbon worms are known to shoot forth an appendage known as a proboscis, which is used to capture prey. Now, if this is a ribbon worm, as suggested, its species has yet to be identified. Giant isopod. Despite their appearance, giant isopods are not bugs. They're actually scary-looking crustaceans that dwell more than 7,000 feet deep in the ocean. Known to reach over 14 inches in length, an isopod was caught in 2010 that measured 2.5 feet long. Deep-sea hatchetfish. These creatures can actually create their own light thanks to a process of bioluminescence. They only grow to around 4.5 inches long, but what they may lack for in size, they seem to more than make up for in creepiness. Quite a bite. Now, you might find this one to be scary, weird, disgusting, or all of the above. Footage was shot of a giant toad that turned predator and tried to chow down a 3-foot-long snake. Now normally it's snakes that do the preying on frogs, but this amphibian managed to grab the serpent before it could strike. The frog can be seen with its jaws clamped around the snake and trying to bite into it, but it appears to be more than the frog can swallow. The location of where this happened was not provided, and we could not positively identify the species of frog or snake involved. Can you? Goblin shark. These creepy creatures live deep in the ocean and trace the lineage back some 125 million years. When feeding, its mouth can actually extend outwards from its body and move independently to catch prey with the large nail-like teeth. Flying foxes. Found in Australia, these creatures are actually giant-sized fruit bats. But flying fox is a good description since these animals are about the size of a fox, albeit a fox with scary leathery wings. They've been known to prey on crocodiles and eagles, but generally are not known to harm humans. This creature looks nearly big enough to be a Batman. Sea spiders. So, what kind of spiders do we have here? Well, they're actually not arachnids, but they are called sea spiders. They lurk in the depths of polar waters of the Arctic and Southern Oceans. And while they are found all over the world, they seem to grow the largest in these regions, attaining leg spans up to 10 inches. Like arachnids, these creatures have 8 legs, but they're actually giant marine arthropods and are thought to exhibit polar gigantism, possibly due to the high oxygen content of the colder waters found in polar oceans. Northern Stargazer. This fish buries itself in the sand and jolts its prey with electricity to stun and then devour it. The Stargazer can also use its electric shock as a defense mechanism to ward off attackers. The Stargazer can also use its electric shock as a defense mechanism to ward off attackers, although it might be more efficient to simply let attackers be scared to death by that gruesome mug. Wet koala. Far from warm and fuzzy, this koala looks wet, hungry, and ready to rip your throat out. We're told that this is a Photoshop job, albeit based on the photo of an actual wet koala. Now then again, others claim this is actually Australia's legendary drop bear, nasty carnivores that hide in trees, then drop down on unsuspecting tourists. Now, if that is the case, a recommended defense would be to smear Vegemite behind your ears. Griffin's leaf-nosed bat. It's only found in Vietnam and was first discovered there in 2008. Its distinctive nose appears to assist in the mammal's use of echolocation, allowing it to navigate. It was initially found in a national park in Vietnam, but was not documented as an entirely new species until later. The Young family. This image made the rounds online and was said to depict creatures that were actual hybrids of humans and pigs. Well, to its credit, it does look pretty convincing. But while it turns out the picture is actually authentic, the story is only half true. This is actually a hyperreal sculpture by an Australian artist named Patricia Piccinini. I think I got the name right. Well, she says she created it as a way to speculate on what such a human-animal hybrid might look like. But still, a lot of people believe the fiction. And it is interesting to note that the sculpture's material includes silicone, leather, plywood, and human hair. Lamprey. Kind of appearing like an eel, the lamprey is a jawless fish, most often described as a giant leech. These creatures have circular rows of teeth to suck whatever blood they can find from anything they can get a hold of. You can see one in the picture by Gabor de Grey, assuming I got that name somewhat right. Now, this one is being held by a researcher and was found in Maine, where despite that fearsome look, the creatures are viewed as a natural part of the ecosystem and pose no threat to humans. Goliath Tigerfish. Native to the Congo River Basin, this animal is a fierce predator and is the largest member of the tigerfish family. And in the picture by Dan Huertas, it projects a fearsome appearance, doesn't it? The biggest Goliath tigerfish on record weighed over 150 pounds and was nearly 5 feet long. This animal is so aggressive that it will even take on crocodiles. unidentified. Now, this does look to be a pretty scary creature rising out of the water, but finding much information on this thing was difficult, so I'm guessing this is more the result of a Photoshop session than the result of evolution. The monster's head kind of resembles a monkfish that was pasted onto the body of another fish. Can you guess what the mashup might be? Sam. Remember Tales of the Crypt? Well, this Chinese crested dog named Sam bears a striking resemblance to the Crypt Keeper. But that's not Sam's only claim to fame. He has the distinction of having won a World's Ugliest Dog contest held in California for 3 years in a row. Tumble Down Under. This 10-foot python entertained bystanders as it constricted a croc to death and then enjoyed it for a nice meal. Now that led some observers to wonder if that's what the snake meant when it said it was having a friend for lunch. This happened in Australia, but it was definitely not a good day for that croc.